Now, self-declared NRM General Miguna Miguna is expected in the country today since his second dramatic deportation in March this year. But Miguna's second coming remains uncertain. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights that had been directed to ensure that Miguna is facilitated by the relevant travel documents said that he has not heard from a lawyer now based in Canada and that it has no details about Miguna's return. And as Chris Thairu reports, Miguna's lawyer, Dr. John Haminwa, has confirmed that his client has not communicated to him on his return, other than a tweet he made 2 weeks ago that he will be landing this afternoon at the JKIA.
Nearly 2 months ago, the self-declared NRM General Miguna Miguna was forcefully deported to Dubai after a bitter confrontation with the Kenyan authorities after he was accused of failing to produce the relevant travel documents. On his official Twitter handle, dated the 4th of May, Miguna tweeted that he will be returning back to the country on Wednesday, the 16th of May, and that the government should obey the court orders and facilitate his entry by issuing him with a valid Kenyan passport. But since then, he has remained silent on his travel details, leaving the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights that was tasked with overseeing that he is facilitated back into the country in the dark.
As of now, we have only had tell that he was slotted to come back to the country tomorrow. We do not have what I can call solid we don't have solid information or very hard and fast information.
His lawyer, Dr. John Haminwa, also informed KTN News through a phone call that his client, Miguna Miguna, has not communicated to him since he was deported to Dubai and that he has no details of his return schedule. The government has already made it clear that Miguna should not expect a special treatment and that he should follow the laid-down procedure of applying for a new passport, a move that some lawyers have termed as an abuse to court orders.
If they have an issue about Miguna at the point where he has been honored his passport, they can process him while he has been reinstated by the court. I am extremely disturbed at the what appears to be very casual and pedestrian manner in which the Department of Immigration is treating this matter. That he will have to apply. He will have to apply to become a citizen. Yet the court said, return his passport.
So you can't even confirm whether the government has facilitated him with the passport and the travel document?
That one I can confirm and say he's not been facilitated with a new Kenyan passport.
Miguna Miguna did not respond to our calls or text messages on his planned return to the country. Might he have planned to return back into the country silently? Chris Thairu, KTN News.
All right, let me bring in my colleague Chris Thairu, who has just compiled that story for us. He's now joining us from our city center studio. Chris, good morning. So, in case, Miguna Miguna is coming today, because it seems that, we do not have a solid period or time that we're expecting him to come in, unless you tell us we do. Are we expecting some sanity, or are we expecting the same showdown that we saw in March?
Well, a very good morning to you, Betty. According to what you've just seen and the story that I've just compiled is that we're yet to know whether Miguna Miguna will be landing today back into the country after this controversial deportation to Dubai and later traveled to Canada, where he has been. But we know that after Canada, he went to the United States, where he has been holding different lectures. But back here in Kenya, what we know is that Miguna Miguna has several options that are open to him. Remember that the government has been strict and has already confirmed that Miguna Miguna should not expect any special treatment and that he should follow the laid-down procedure when it comes to any person or any passenger who wants to enter the country, and he must produce the legal and valid documents. Those are the travel documents documents. And remember that as we speak, Miguna Miguna does not have a Kenyan passport, a valid Kenyan passport. What he has is a Canadian passport, which we know that when he came back, that was barely 2 months ago when he was forcibly deported, he declined to hand over his Canadian passport, and that's the reason why there was that commotion. And one of the options that he has on his hand is to come silently, produce his Canadian passport, agree to sign the documentation that he is a tourist, and he'll be given at least a visa of 3 months in the country. And of course, that visa comes up with restrictions. Remember that he can't participate in any business, he can't do any politics. There are so many things that he can't do as a visitor since he does not have that valid Kenyan passport. But on the other hand, he can decide to come and cause the mayhem and the drama that we saw 2 months ago at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And as it stands right now is that we know that the High Court has already ordered that the government produces and ensures that Miguna Miguna has a valid Kenyan passport, which we know up to now the side of the immigration, that is General Gordon Kihalangwa, has already indicated that Miguna Miguna, if at all he wants a valid Kenyan passport, he should apply officially and apply going by the procedure that is entitled as any other Kenyan would like to apply for any passport. But on the other hand, Miguna Miguna has insisted that he will be following the court orders that were issued, that the government should ensure that Miguna Miguna is a Kenyan, and he should be provided for with a Kenyan and a valid Kenyan passport. And so, as we speak for now, it still remains unclear whether he will be coming, since unlike the other time when we saw him tweeting his travel schedule, this time around he has gone silent, and so we can't really confirm whether he'll be coming or not, Betty.
All right, Chris, let's also just talk about the legal team. And we understand that Nelson Harvey opted out of this particular matter and representing Miguna Miguna. Do we know why, and who else is remaining apart from Dr. John Haminwa?
Yes, actually, yesterday I talked to Nelson Harvey, who was representing Miguna Miguna in court when all this saga was revolving his deportation. And he actually informed me that he was sacked by Miguna Miguna, and even Miguna Miguna went ahead and accused him of being used by the Jubilee regime. And so Nelson Harvey currently is not representing Miguna Miguna. But on the other hand, we know that Dr. John Haminwa is his lawyer, but yesterday I also talked to him. I made a phone call, and we talked. And according to him is that he's yet to communicate to his client. They've not talked since he was forcefully deported, and up to now he can't reach him. And what he just confirmed is that he will just go with the tweet that Miguna Miguna tweeted on the 4th of May, that he will be coming back to Kenya today. This is the 16th May, and that he will be expected at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in the afternoon. And so, apart from Dr. John Haminwa, what I know is that he is the lawyer. Other lawyers, I'm not very sure whether they are still with Miguna Miguna. But what I can also confirm is that during that time, we also saw Siaya Senator James Orengo also representing Miguna Miguna. I don't know whether this time round they were still together. That one I can't confirm. But what I can also confirm is that after today, Dr. John Haminwa also intends to move to court to pile pressure on the government to ensure that Miguna Miguna is brought back to Kenya. Betty?
Chris Tharu, they are speaking to us about Miguna Miguna. Is he coming back to Kenya or not? He tweeted earlier that he's going to be jetting into the country today, so we wait to see if that is going to happen. But when we come back